Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. Today, me and Miguel, how are you going, buddy?
What's going on, Mikey?
Just finished watching the Baltimore-Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Unfortunately, I don't have Prime, so I couldn't see it today. I'll catch it on the NFL Network in a couple minutes here.
Yeah. What a game. Jaguars, Eagles.
Yeah, what a game is right.
You know, it was like two types of games, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk a few things about happened on College Game Day with Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, College Game Day. He was at Happy Valley.
He was.
Yep.
And then also we're going to talk about what happened to Saquon after the game.
Yeah.
So follow us on Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast. Over on YouTube, squawkingeaglespodcast.com. All right, Miguel. I did not post a lot of feedback during the in-game because I was sick and it was hard to talk.
Okay. Feeling better today?
A little bit better.
Okay.
Better than I was on Sunday.
All right.
I was shocked at the fact that game became that close of a game.
Right.
It really shouldn't have been that close.
It shouldn't have been. Granted, the referees gave them 7 points. So
questionable. It was questionable. Did he get touched when he went down to fumble that ball? It was an odd fumble by Saquon. It was odd.
I don't know how odd it was. He clearly got touched on his shin.
Yeah.
He got touched on his shin. The ground caused a fumble. Therefore, there's no fumble.
Yeah.
I don't know how many TV they say the replay booth doesn't have as many angles as TV as we see on TV,
which doesn't make sense.
Like you just said, doesn't make sense. But I mean, that's what the call was. Unfortunately, when you let the refs dictate a game, those are the things that are going to happen.
Yeah, and I think that what happened with that is that because that dictation was happening, the Eagles kind of had to stumble around and change their game plan from, they started doing a little bit of a cruise control there, and then at the end they had to switch gears. Miguel, we are now joined by Mark. Mark, how's it going?
Mark with the late run-in.
It's okay. He just intercepted our conversation with the Kobe Dean's jersey.
Yes, the right color and everything. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah. So like for the Eagles to be up by so much points and then to have to adjust and get to a state of mind where now we have to play almost like a keep away game at this point. Like, let's not get the ball back to Trevor Lawrence. I think that it threw them off. And even like Kobe Dean, I just watched some mic'd up. He was mic'd up during that game, and he was confused of what was going on. He didn't believe that they let the Jaguars score 23 points.
Yeah, I mean, just bad play calling on Sirianni's half. I mean, there were so many times where we should just taken the points instead of going for it and trying to convert. We got stopped so many times with tush push that as Mark said in the post in game pod that it's the NFL is probably getting sick of seeing it and they finding ways to stop it. Teams are lining up off sides. Refs aren't calling it. I mean, what's going on there? Who knows? But
I saw plays where if you're looking down the line,
yeah,
you saw a Jaguars helmet and body. And then the first part of Eagles lineman you saw was here. All of this was covered from being offsides. And the refs are sitting there going, I don't care.
yeah.
The refs don't like it.
Yeah, and they're going
The thing is,
to
if they line up properly, and if you do call it, which they should, I'm sorry, I don't care if you don't like it, NFL. Call it properly. That play is unstoppable. Like when they line up where they are, we have the movement. It's only when they line up off sides that our lineman can't get the movement. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sick of seeing the linebackers jump over the top and grab his helmet. I've seen 3 different times they just grab his helmet. They don't grab him, they just grab his helmet, and there's never a penalty for it.
Yeah, I agree. It's
unreal.
It's shady. It's very shady.
It is. It's messed up.
So Mark, your reaction to that game. I was talking about how I felt it was 2 games in 1 for the Eagles defense. They had a good game going where they were pitching a shutout, and then all of a sudden there's 23 points on the board, and they're kind of struggling to figure out what happened.
It reminds me of college football when I was younger. I used to watch some games, and it always drove me nuts when I would see teams like Alabama go up on a team and then just keep beating them relentlessly. And I was like, that's just, you're just being disrespectful. You're being rude. And then a few times I'd see teams that'd be up by a lot, and they'd take their foot off the gas, and all of a sudden the fourth quarter is a dogfight, and they weren't ready for it. And I'm starting to understand why some of those college teams have that mentality of like, I don't care if we're up by 40, we're going to kick your ass, because you get lethargic and you rest on your laurels, and suddenly you're not where you thought you were. I see it happen too many times in college, and you see it in the NFL all the time. Teams don't want to hurt their star players. You know, I don't want to keep riding, Barkley. I don't want to keep throwing. I don't want to keep doing these hard plays. I want to keep, we're going to play a softer coverage. We don't need to blitz. We don't need to risk injury. Look, I get you don't want to risk injury, but you need to win the game. Clearly, this is the NFL. And as we saw, in 30 seconds, a team can catch up 14, 16 points real quick. Very quick.
Especially when you don't know how to freaking tackle.
Yeah. Granted, there were a few plays there where I was like, I don't know about that. Like, Barkley was down.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That Barkley, his shin got hit by a player, and that was it. But they did not see it from the booth angle, and that changed the dimension of what was going on with that game. It gave the Jaguars life, and the Eagles kind of stumbled their way to the end of that game. Amidst the fact that that game was the way it was, there's a lot of plays that happened in that game.
And I will say, for all the bullshit that game was, I think general consensus, I know I'm one of the few who, for the past few years, has been hype on Nakobe Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I think our fan base has to understand why. I
think after this week, I
think he's done really well all season.
Yeah.
But after the end of this game, being like, all right, guys, I gotta step up and carry this for my team. He did what he had to do.
If you go on the Philly Eagles YouTube page, they have the mic'd up game, and he was mic'd up during that game, and he's different. He's different, and I think and he's going to be, hopefully he's healthy, and he's got it. The Eagles have good linebackers between him and Bond now. It's okay.
Bond was on a tear to start the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bond said, "This is my game."
Your boy Jeremiah Trotter Jr. can't get on the field.
No, he cannot. No, he can't.
You know what though? Maybe we treat him like a future quarterback. He's learning from those above him. Yeah. When he comes out, he'll be good.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what happens with Shadur Sanders next year in Dallas when he goes there and sits behind Dak for a year or two. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be unheard of.
What happened beginning of the season? What I say? Dallas is going to have a middling year. They're going to fire their coach. I'm sorry. They're not looking too hot right now.
No.
Dak's out. We're playing against Trey Lance and the.
No, it's not even. It's going to be Cooper Rush.
There's no way they're going to play Cooper Rush against us after we dismantled him last year.
He's got a bad injury. Yeah, he's done. He's done for at least 4 weeks. They said.
Wait, Dak or Trey?
Huh?
Wait, Dak is or Trey Lance? Okay, I knew Dak was, but I was told that we were going to get Trey Lance because they were we're not playing Cooper against the Eagles again.
No, it's going to be Cooper.
Oh boy, Cooper versus Cooper.
Oh yeah,
pick 6.
Yeah. I mean, not to focus on that team in Dallas there, but I mean, Dak learned from Tony Romo. Do we really want the next generation to learn from Dak? I mean,
Yes, we do. As Eagles fans, yes, we do. There is nothing
as an Eagles
better.
fan, yes. As an
Eagles fan, you can't write a better script for me than to see prima donna Dion become their head coach with his son as their backup for a year. When Dak suffers, the whole fan base is going to be cheering for Shadur, who clearly, don't get me wrong, the kid's talented, but he's mentally not there as a quarterback. The whole project of like making the right decisions all the time, he makes a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Learning from Dak, he's only going to solidify those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect, because then Jerry Jones is going to struggle to fire Dion the way he fires other coaches. So you're going to see Dion there for 4 or 5, 6 years, and you're going to see Shadur there for 4 or 5, 6 years, and it's going to suffer, and I'm going to love it. The fact that we're going to have to focus our rivalry hatred on the Commanders for the next decade, I think.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that.
That's the tougher team.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like Giants, they're going to be terrible for a long time, and the Cowboys.
Micah Parsons is pissed about the Giants.
Yeah. And the Cowboys do not look. It does not look good for the Giants, but because I don't have that much of a hatred for the Commanders. I just don't have that in it. But
you're going to now.
We're gonna have to start somewhere. It's gonna have to be pointed to somewhere.
So my question is, if they keep failing, if Dallas has a below 500 season this year and a below 500 season next year, how much do the strings of Philly pull on him? I say, come on, bud.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Come to the winning side of things. Wear green.
Yeah, that'd be quite a sight to see if that ever happens.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that, because that was my same thought when everyone talked about us getting Saquon. I was like, bro, Saquon has been like the star of one of our rivals for the past almost decade.
How many?
You're not getting him.
This is crazy. This is a crazy thought. Saquon Barkley has had 3 players of the week games for the Eagles this year in 10 games.
Yep.
9 games
versus the 10 years he spent in New York
with 3.
Yeah.
In 10 years or 9 years, whatever it was. That's insane.
It's almost like some teams don't utilize their players properly.
Oh, man.
They never had a line like we have.
Although it's funny, I can't give us a ton of credit, because I was been talking a while about Jahan Dotson and how we don't use him at all. He's had like 6 targets all season. 3 of them were like behind the line of scrimmage while he's in, blitz anyway. The other 3 have been 2 of them decent catches. One of them was unreal.
Right, it's been foreshadowed over of DeVonta Smith's catch in the end zone.
Yeah,
and for the backwards hurdle.
Yeah, I say that we had 3 plays that were absolute highlight of the year plays in one game by 3 different players.
Yeah,
personally, I think Smith's means the most. I think Barkley's is the best, but I think in any other game you can't sleep on Dotson.
Dotson was important.
Oh, Dotson's was huge.
That was a huge catch.
But it's slept on. But it's going to be slept on. But that play was unreal, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we start writing the script better so that, like, we spread the ball properly? I just want it to be Dotson, Smith, and Brown. Yeah. Like, I want Brown to get 30 to 40% of the looks. I want 25 to 30% to Smith, and like 15, 20% go to Dotson. And then the rest can be spread out to like Calcaterra and whoever else. Like, you got to use them. They're too good not to use.
Yeah, it's tough to figure out how, there's only one ball. You can only throw one ball.
Yeah, but you can't have a player as your third receiver have 6 targets all season.
Yeah.
When he was a former first-round draft pick. I know he doesn't have the best history when he was with the Commanders, but the Commanders had a dog shit quarterback for his entire career. He left at the worst time. Now they have actually a star there. He's up here with us. He's behind 2 phenomenal receivers. But, like, if we utilize him properly and we utilize Smith properly, like, suddenly it's not, we have to have Brown on the field to score. It's, who are you going to cover today?
Right.
When we go up on the line of scrimmage and you know that Dotson's finally a good receiver, and Smith is a beast, and that Brown's a monster, you're going to sit there with your cornerbacks go,
You got to play man coverage. You got to man on man.
And you can't with those 3. You literally can't. If you put man on man on Brown all day, you're going to lose.
Well, you just hand the ball off to Barkley. He's going to just
exactly. Yeah, and you try to man on man on Smith all day. He's going to burn you. Like, that's just how it's going to go.
I agree. Again, the Eagles they walk away with a win.
Mhm.
A
Walk
close
away.
They walked away with
Barely.
a win. They walked away
Yeah,
with
they
a win.
walked
Yeah.
away. It wasn't a
walked
good
away.
one.
They didn't run away with it, which it looked like they were going to be.
They should have. It was
you know,
kind
It
of.
should have been a blowout. It should have been a 44-0 shutout. That's what
You know what it
Yeah.
reminds me of? It reminds me of last year's game against the Niners. When the Niners were all talking shit, we got there and we just started that first quarter murdering them.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is a joke. And our team just came out the rest of the game looking lazy.
Yeah, it was. It could have been, you know, a lot more. Like, it was one of those games where Nick left points on the board again. Like,
bad.
we went over this a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm beginning to think Nick is like a Jekyll and Hyde fucking coach. I'm sorry. Like, 1 week he's got the brains to do what he's supposed to do, and all of a sudden he does something, and now he's crazy, and he just goes off the rails. Like, who are we going to get this week?
Hey,
Dallas.
he's undefeated since he started his Britney phase. So
Yeah, he's 4-0. He's 4-0 since the bald
Hey,
Britney.
hey, I'll take it. You know, we're winning games. They might not be pretty. I don't need them to be pretty. I need us just to win.
Right.
But at some
Can we
point,
keep it up?
but at some point, it's going to cost us. He keeps doing this
It's
shit.
unsustainable.
Yeah, it's
Agreed. I will say though, I don't think. I want to be careful how I word this. I am less concerned with this style of play to lead to the end of season collapse that last year's did.
okay.
We might lose one or two, but I don't think we're going to go, oh no, oh God, what a cliff, drop off, everything falls apart in a dumpster fire that's falling off a ravine.
I don't disagree with you, but what'll happen is it'll come at an important game that we need, whether it be a playoff game or a game to get us a playoff game, and he'll do something to.
I would bet you that you're 100% correct. It's going to cost us like home field advantage or a bye week.
Right.
Not that I think we have much chance at a bye week, but like if we did, it's gonna come down to the end of the season where it's like, hey, if the Eagles win this, they get a bye week, and it's nope, we're gonna blow ourselves out of the foot. However, I don't know if I want a bye week because I feel like every time we get that bye, we struggle.
Yeah, we don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our players take that week break to get healthy, and they're just lazy.
I also I put up a reel on Instagram, and a lot of people were posting on and talking about it. They also posted that Nick Sirianni is 40-19 in his Eagles career.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not
Yeah,
bad when you consider that 10 of those losses were last year.
I was gonna say if you
Yeah.
take away the first 2 years when we got to the Super Bowl or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the record's worse.
Yeah. So it's interesting
worse.
how, yeah, it's interesting to point that out though. It's like the Eagles are 6-2, and even the national media, they were talking about that Nick Sirianni is the only problem on the Eagles team, really.
That's okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. Like I said before, clearly we don't do well spotlight in the league. You know, we want the spotlight elsewhere. Let us be the messy, gritty underdogs that nobody likes. There's a reason our song is "No one likes us, we don't care." It's better when the league hates us. We do better.
After the game, Saquon Barkley said he was drug tested.
Yep.
Randomly
Oh,
drug tested.
Randomly.
When you hurdle somebody backwards, that's an automatic drug test, my guy.
Yeah, the random comes up really quick, and the
Yeah,
random is directed directly at the guy who's hurling somebody
Well,
back.
didn't that happen the other year too with AJ Brown? AJ Brown had like a ridiculous game, got a field instant random drug test.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. You know, I was telling my buddy too, it was like I grew up in a day and age where we had posters of our favorite players, favorite cars on our walls and all that. Yeah. And I saw things about people with like, you know, those digital like the Samsung, what's it called? Like the portrait or whatever. It's the TV with like it's a multi-$1,000 TV. It's not even a TV, it just shows pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, I don't want anything like that. But right now, if I could have a digital based like poster that was just like a GIF, just like a 3-4 second clip, and just shows him hurtling.
Yeah,
I'd have it in a heartbeat. I'd have it.
Yeah,
definitely an epic moment in Eagles history.
All I know is that whoever that was has to change his name and number.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
a rookie. It was a rookie too.
Oh, dude, he goes to coach next game. He goes, I need a different number, and I changed my name legally. You know how like Josh Allen now goes like Josh Hayne Allen or whatever his name is. Yeah, that guy's gonna do the same thing. Yeah, no, my last name is not Robinson. It's L. Robinson the third. Like completely different person.
It's no, I wasn't hurdled backwards. That guy. That's his last name now.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Gonna be John No Hurdle.
Yeah.
No hurdle. Don't want to hurdle me. Don't want to hurdle.
Bro, that man is never gonna go low again in his life.
No, but think like he kept going higher and higher, and then Saquon was like gone. He was
Barkley,
gone.
I honestly want someone to do a superimposed measurement and see how high Barkley got his ass.
It was high.
I feel like his ass was close to 6 foot in the air at that point.
Yeah,
like that's
unreal.
unreal.
Yeah, it was such quick on a dime too. He definitely got smacked, like sandwiched after that. After he came down, though, they really they got him. All right, let's finish this out with our one word. Wrap it up, Miguel. Do you have a one word for us that could wrap up this game, and we can move on talking about the Dallas Cowboys?
Inconsistent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I mean the play calling, the Jalen once again just clean pocket, just searching downfield instead of just throwing the ball away like he should, just sitting there in the pocket and just taking the sack at the like very last possible moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting tired and repetitive. It's kind of seeing the same play out of him. And I know I've been kind of hard on him because I expect more.
You've been down. You have been down on these guys during those in-game takes. You're now energized.
I don't have the energy. Like because of last year, I just feel like I don't have the energy to
feel
my full emotion into these games anymore because of the stupid play calling and the stupid decision making by our quarterback. It's just I can't give a 100% commitment to the team right now. I just don't see it in them. I see a big letdown coming soon. I don't know how soon, but I just feel like I don't want to put my expectations high and then get knocked down like I did last year.
Yeah, I hear you. I can feel it.
Typical Philly fan. I agree.
Yeah.
Mark, you have one for us? Yeah, Dean.
Let's go. He's the dean of the defense, my guys. It's I said it, beginning of the season last year and beginning of the season this year. So when he's not hurt, he has that knowledge, that ability to read. He is what Kelsey was on offense, on defense. He reads the plays. He is guiding people where to go. When he's on and he's doing his thing, he's not always gonna be the one making the tackles, but he's instructing the D where to go. We're getting the blitzes suddenly. We're finally getting the players to make the move. I see a lot of instruction coming from him. And when the game's on the line, he says, I'm here with the green sticker for a reason. The team trusts me to do what's got to be done. Says, no, thank you. That's my ball. Win the game, birds. I love it. I agree a lot with Miguel with the inconsistency, but I got to at least take a moment and congratulate and celebrate the wins when we have them. And Dean, that's a win.
Yeah, I like that. My word is circus. Circus. It's like a good thing and a bad thing. The good things are like these players are making these plays that they're circus plays. Those things. You don't normally do those kind of things in games. Like I don't think we'll ever see anybody ever get hurdled backwards again.
Do they add that to Madden?
Definitely. No.
You'll never see that. That won't ever happen. You have to
again. Halfway do a spin move with the stick and hurdle at the same time to make it happen.
I can see a lot of fumbles coming.
A lot of fumbles. We're seeing a lot of one-handed catches. Dotson is catching this ball and he's juggling it as he's going down. This is all circus games here and plays. Also, Saquon Barkley fumbling a ball and it's like all I can hear is like, and it's like this joke of like they're giving up all these points to this team who's trash. Like the Jaguars are not good. They're not good.
Yeah, screw you, Miguel, and your team.
The Jaguars are not good, and it's like
the Colts aren't much better. Anthony Richardson.
Wait, he just tapped out. Hold on.
It's Joe Falco. It's Joe Falco.
Tap out.
Joe Falco.
He didn't do much better.
No, he didn't.
It was bad.
It's almost like he lost the game.
Yeah.
Oh, he did lose that game, yeah.
So that game was crazy from beginning to end. Thankfully, the Eagles walked out with a win. Sorry. Moving on to Dallas week. Oh, well, before we talk about Dallas, Jason Kelce was on College Game Day last week. Did you know about this, Mark?
I have to admit I did not, because last week I was a little busy Saturday, and so I didn't get to watch like any college football.
Okay. Well, he was out there kicking field goals in Tim's.
Nice. I did see the clip.
Okay, so the clip. Okay, so you saw his spike.
Yes.
Okay, so he was walking through, I guess, crowds, and people are yelling his name and everything, and then somebody yells a slur.
Do we know what slur it is? I've never heard what slur it was.
Yeah, we did. I can tell you later what it is. I don't want to say it over here, but
no.
It was a homophobic slur about his brother, why that he's going out with Taylor Swift, which would make zero sense because those two things wouldn't match if he's with a boy and a girl. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it is weird how those two things. It's like 1 + 2 does not equal 7.
It does not. It does not.
Weird how that works.
Like, the guy who's saying it is definitely an unintelligent person. So
he sounded a little tipsy, to be honest.
Possibly.
I mean, think about it. How stupid or drunk do you need to be to yell stupid things like that against a former NFL lineman?
He's a massive man.
Yeah, he might be smaller than others, but he's still a monster.
Yeah. And so this guy gets up in Jason Kelce's face with his phone, screaming at him, and Jason Kelce takes his phone and spikes it into the ground. Says a few things that I really couldn't tell or hear what Jason Kelce said back to him, but he spikes his phone and picks it up and walks away. So Monday comes and Jason Kelce has to apologize. Mm-hmm. Does Jason Kelce have to apologize because he's a celebrity and he's in this forum of, that's a real tight window that you got to get through to be able to be accepted on one side, and then also be really, protecting your family. Like you see, what is I
got something for you.
Let me hear.
So, I'm a big fan of our First Amendment, but I think a lot of people misunderstand it. So you have the freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of consequence.
Hate speech. You can't say hate speech. That's hate
you can.
Speech.
No, I'm sorry. You can. You have the freedom of speech. You don't have the freedom of consequence, though. So you can say hate speech all you want, but you're going to get smacked. You got to understand that. I don't care if you want to say, the sky is purple, and I don't want to care if you're going to say something about my family. Understand, though, that if you cross a line, you're gonna get retaliation. And I think the problem with our PC world that we got into a little bit too much in the past couple decades is that there's not enough, and now it's not accepted the same way. But I'm sorry, I get the whole they're like, oh, he's got to apologize. He should have. No. That guy should have stayed out of his face. You don't say things like that and get in someone's face and expect to not. He's lucky that it was just his phone.
Yeah.
I know 10 years ago, you're getting punched in the face for those comments. So
but maybe that's what the dude was hoping for, because then he could have sued him.
And that's my thing is maybe
very well, Miguel. He could have. Jason Kelce was holding back enough where I'm glad he didn't hit him. If he had hit him, he might have really killed the kid.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have hit him hard enough to kill him. I think he knows how to temper himself. I think he could have, but I think he knows how to temper himself. But I'm just saying, I feel like we're in a part in this world where
he chest bumped somebody and the guy tore his ACL.
All right, well, that's not his fault. The guy, look, no offense, I love that Eagles fan.
Yeah.
When you're out of shape, things are not as
like when you're overweight and obese and trying to do a celebration with an NFL player, that's your fault.
I know I'm overweight. I know every time I come down my steps, my knees pop and crackle because I'm not in good shape.
Right.
I went outside, played a little football with a buddy of mine, threw out my shoulder. I understand I'm old and frail.
You're an old man.
I need to work
I never
out.
want to get as old as you, Mark. Never.
I
want to get as old as
agree.
you.
I need to work out. I need to lose weight. I got it. So I'm not going to rub Jason Kelsey and say, yo, man, chest bump. Yeah, that sounds stupid. High five, bud. We did good. That's
it's just as stupid as this little kid, pretty much walking up to an NFL
Pretty sure
player.
he was like a 30-year-old that did this.
I don't think he was.
Nah, he was a student.
College kid. He was a college
kid. He was a kid. He was a kid on campus that was trying to. And Kelsey said it in the New Heights podcast. He said, I should have never gave him the time because it gave him validation for his action. Because now he got attention because of his reaction.
That's it.
If he would have just kept walking to wherever he was going to, nothing ever happens for that kid.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to turn away.
You know what though? Honestly, if he does walk away from it, that kid probably gets ripped online for saying shit like that a lot more. But I just think we're at a point in this world where we should openly tell, the world should openly say, Jason, you don't need to apologize for that. That man said something that was inappropriate. And again, I stand on both sides of the fence of this one. He has the freedom to say it, but Jason has the freedom to retaliate. And you got to deal with their consequences. You go ahead. You say something rude. You say something disrespectful. Your mouth's going to get hit. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just the way. That's the world we live in. I'm not going to censor you. Say whatever you want. Just know that you're also going to have some consequences.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about censoring. I'm talking about the logic thought about this kid.
But the
yelling,
fact that we want him to apologize because of what happened, to me, that's just an extension of the censorship that we're in right now, and that's stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he needed to apologize. I just think it needed to be addressed that this. I don't know. It just I wish he didn't have to apologize. I think that's where my point is that
Agreed.
I wish he didn't have to apologize.
And I don't think he had to. I think that he was forced to by the media, but I don't think he has to.
Okay.
I think he was in the right place.
Okay.
You know what, Jason? Good job. Sorry Penn State lost. I hope you had fun at the game after that bullshit.
Man, he smashed that phone.
That phone is in pieces, bro.
He smashed that phone so hard.
Bro, the FBI recovery team that can take up burn pieces of technology and get data out of it looked at it and said, nah.
Nah. That's done. That's done. That's trash. That's trash. All right, moving on to Dallas. It's Dallas week. We all know how we feel about the Dallas Cowboys, right? Dallas Cowboys, what? What are the Dallas Cowboys? Dallas sucks. Dallas sucks.
Dallas sucks.
I started my Dallas sucks posts 2 weeks ago. I'm ready. Now it's going to be a little bit disappointing the fact that there is no Dak, and we're going to see Cooper Rush.
Oh no, that's not disappointing. I love beating up on Cooper Rush.
I know, but it's another game where Dak dodges the Eagles again.
It's almost like he's afraid.
This is a thing. Beginning to think of it's a thing now, right? He's dodging the Eagles.
How many games has he missed against us?
2 or 3
or 4 in his
2
career,
or 3 at least. So
yeah, which I mean, think about it. It's not a long career. It's not like he's been in the NFL for decades.
No, it hasn't been, and so he's
5-6 years.
He got this hamstring injury, and now we're not going to see him against us. And it's a 4:25 game. In Dallas. Thoughts, Miguel? Thoughts on this game?
I mean, I'm not as excited as I normally would be because, Dak is not going to be there. They're not going to be at full strength. They're already falling apart at the seams. Their owner is, I think, one more insult away from losing it on the radio stations and everywhere else. And I can't wait for that. But yeah, I'm always geared up for an Eagles game, but this week I'm not into it. Thursday I'll be into the Thursday game against Washington, and that's what scares me because we talked last week about trap game, and as much as we said that Jacksonville might be a trap game because we were looking ahead, now because of the injury to Dak and CeeDee Lamb might not play, and Micah Parsons is a probable start. So I'm not looking. It's not going to be as impactful of a game. I mean, it is still a division rival game, so I'm sure it'll be a lot more difficult than it needs to be. But yeah, I think by the end of the game, I think we come out on top.
Oh yeah. You will give us a score?
Let's go. I'm gonna go 32-13.
32 what?
32-13.
32.
I love it.
Generous.
I love it.
Yeah.
Marcus. I know you're chomping at the bit. I can see you like hopping back there.
He's hyped.
I'm hyped for this game.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are kind of like Miguel. A lot of people I've talked to are kind of like that, feel that way. Like, it's not Dak. I see a great weekend, boys. You guys, are either of you familiar with the song Big Dogs? It's been like all over TikTok and all that. So like that Indian rapper.
Mm-hmm.
That song's playing in my head right now. I'm just picturing Cooper DeJean with a pick six. I'm picturing Quinion with a pick. Like, I just see our team coming into Dallas and going, you know what? You decide not to bring your A game against us, we're going to make you hurt for that. We're going to make you understand that division games always mean something. We're talking 42-9.
42-9.
We're coming in to ruin Cooper Rush's day. We're going to tell CeeDee Lamb to sit down. You're going up against the top young corners in the league. We're coming in to feast. Saquon goes, I've loved this rivalry my whole life, but I played for the worst team in the rivalry. So let me show you who I am. Let me reintroduce myself as Saquon, Philadelphia Eagle, Barkley. Okay. All right. AJ Brown going to be healthy. DeVonta Smith going to be healthy. Jahan Dotson is going to sideline and say, hey, bud, put me in, coach.
Dallas
Goddard's this year. Dallas Goddard's going to come back.
Devontae's got the hamstring issue, though, right? They're kind of being.
Hey, I don't care. He's going to play.
Okay.
It's Dallas. He's going to walk in that day and say, it works. It's Dallas week, man. All aches and pains are gone. We're all healthy. My lot is going to show up and say, hey, guys, take me off. And I'm good. I don't care if I'm on IR. I'm good.
Wasn't Jalen not throwing these last two practices as well?
Correct. He wasn't, but it was a load management kind of a thing. It was a scheduled day off for him, so it was scheduled in his time.
I mean,
they're gonna have two games. Like they're gonna have 2 games in 5 days.
Yeah,
bro. I'm just excited to see Cooper rush his way to throwing interceptions. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a great day, boys. We're gonna be celebrating.
So after Jacksonville's game, the Eagles are the only team in the NFL that are in the top 10 in offense and defense. They are 6 in offense and defense.
I just told you about the song. That's how I'm feeling right
now. We talked. I said this earlier in the year on one of the podcasts, is that in order to make it to the Super Bowl, you have to have a top 8 defense. And so far, the Eagles are a 6. Granted, now they're going to be playing Dallas, who are down a lot of people. They are down a lot of players. And Dallas's defense gives up a lot of passing yards. They're going to give up a lot of passing yards, and they're going to give up even more rushing yards. Jalen is playing. He's showing signs of 2022 in my mind. He's showing signs of it. He's not pressing and trying to throw the ball on the run. He's going and scrambling when there is nothing available. He's making the line. He's changing. I've seen him change a couple of plays at the line, which is something I haven't been seeing him do, and now he's starting to do.
Well, that was because they were getting to the line late, and the play clock was already down at 5 seconds. By the time they got there, they couldn't make any adjustments. They had to run with the play that they got.
And so now that they're
in the league in sacks,
which is insane.
After starting, it's crazy. Do you know who the number 1 team is with sacks this year?
Who?
I guarantee you won't.
It's the Giants, I think.
It's the Giants.
Yeah.
It's the Giants, followed by the Broncos, followed by the Jets.
Yeah.
What a weird combo.
Yeah. So the Eagles, I think they may or may not be looking past this Cowboys team, knowing that they are 3-5. They will be facing a Commanders team on Thursday Night Football next week. That's 7-2. And I don't like the idea. I hate the ideas of trap games, but I think that the Eagles will They learned from the mistakes made during this Jaguars game. I think they can adjust and fix those problems that they had, and they're going to go down to Dallas and put a nail in the coffin of the Cowboys season. They're going to end the Cowboys season. And honestly, do the Cowboys even score a point at all?
Field goals, because Aubrey can kick 60-yarders. That's why I said 9.
I'm going to say 6 points. 6 points for the Cowboys, and 28 for the Eagles. 28-6.
Does anybody know the status of Fred Johnson? I'm looking here on the injury report. They got him as questionable right now.
Oh, he's under question. There's a large list of players that did not practice on Wednesday.
Yeah, DeVonta Smith and Fred Johnson so far are just questionable right now.
Slay will be back. Dallas Goedert will be back.
Can I just point out something real quick? Everyone's been talking about the Commanders. They're having a good season. We're not going to hold that against them. However, you guys notice how few touchdowns are actually scoring? Like, a lot of their points are coming off field goals. Or,
they're very low scoring games.
They beat the Browns with 1 offensive touchdown. They beat the Bears 1 offensive touchdown. The only game I've seen recently with multiple offensive touchdowns when Mariota was quarterback. As crazy as that is to say. Like, I know a lot of people are worried about them. I'm not as worried about them. And if I'm an Eagle, I'm not seeing it as a trap game to play Dallas. Like, I'm going in Dallas hard. Commanders are always a game that we stumble in. I get it. We'll play them. It'll come back that way. But, like, I feel like we got to focus on Dallas.
No, I agree. The focus has to be on Dallas. And I think it's going to be. I think it is there. I think the players are focused on Dallas. The players know how of an important game this is because it's in division. And because it's in division, it's always a different type of game. Granted, Cooper Rush is their quarterback, so it's going to be a little different to begin with too. But nevertheless, I think the Eagles, like we all think the Eagles will walk away with a win, and they have to turn around and play Washington 5 days later at home, of course, on Thursday Night Football.
What's crazy is I'm looking at their schedule, and I looked at their schedule a bunch of times this year, right? I just noticed after this little run here, we go Dallas, Washington, LA, right? And then Baltimore. we don't have to board another plane for the rest of the season because we go to Baltimore, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas.
I feel like we will board a plane for the Panthers. It's a bit of a longer drive.
There might be a train ride.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna fly there.
Amtrak. Gotta save some pennies somewhere, Mark.
Yeah, but I think we will fly to the Panthers, but I think you're right about the rest of the season though. Like the Ravens, Steelers, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, like all those are close enough, A lot of them are at home. Actually, I'm sorry, wait, the Panthers are at home.
Oh yeah, they are at home.
Never mind, we're not flying there, we're at home. All right, yeah, no, you're right. Then you're right. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's at home it's Commanders, at LA, you're right, we'll fly there, but then we'll drive to the Ravens, Panthers are home, Steelers are home, drive to Commanders, Cowboys home. That's Giants home. Goodness gracious, how's it almost Christmas?
You seen some ghosts there, Miguel?
Yeah, I'm hearing noises.
I think that I know it's Christmas is coming very quickly. I wanted to ask a question. If the Eagles lose to Dallas, Washington, is that like a must win for the Eagles at that point, right?
I think we must win one of them.
Well, I would love to win both of these games. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. I'd love to win every game the rest of the season.
I really like. Yes, Washington is 7-2, but really, have they played anybody besides Pittsburgh?
Baltimore, they lost.
Who?
They played Baltimore and they lost.
Yeah, Baltimore is a good team. Now, I watched them today, and Baltimore did not look good, but they
won.
They won because Cincinnati decided to go for a 2-point conversion instead of tying the game.
Which they should. No, I agree with that, though. That's what went wrong with Tampa the other night with Kansas City. I'm sorry, in the final 30 seconds, Stop. Overtime rules suck in the NFL. Don't
They
go to
do.
overtime. Win
Yeah.
the game. Granted, don't be stupid. Don't have a crap play call. And, maybe the refs need to do something maybe once in a while because there was definitely a lot of penalties on that play. But win the game. I'm looking back at their schedule. The Buccaneers beat the Commanders. The Buccaneers they look better than they are. Apparently, they have more losses, which is kind of shocking to me. I feel like the Buccaneers are.
They are hurting. They are like the walking wounded, though.
And yet they're still a good team.
Yeah.
They beat the Giants, no surprise. They beat the Bengals. That was a surprise at the beginning of the year. Now it's not as much of a surprise. They beat the Cardinals, not much of a surprise. They beat the Browns, who suck. They lost the Ravens. They beat the Panthers with a backup. They beat the Bears barely, which I granted, I do believe the Bears have
Hail Mary. They won on a Hail Mary. They won on a Hail
most
Mary.
amazing play of Jaden Daniels' career already. Then they beat the Giants again. They haven't really had any games. They're 7-2, but they're 7-2 with one of the weakest schedules.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think
they're
playing this week. They're playing
Steelers.
They're playing Pittsburgh. So
The
that's
other
another
top defensive team.
Yeah,
I think Pittsburgh wins this.
possibly.
And then it's a short week.
Now we missed the trade deadline. The Eagles did not pull the trigger on anything, and Max Crosby didn't go anywhere, and neither did Myles Garrett. Are either of you guys disappointed that the Eagles didn't make any trades, or because I know like Vic Fangio said, we're good with who we got, we're ready to ride with who we have. Are you disappointed that they didn't add anything, except for releasing somebody? They did, which they did.
I mean, who knows what the price was on these things? How he probably wasn't ready to risk our future for a temporary player. So I'm not too disappointed because I didn't want to give up too much for Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I'm more disappointed in the league that there was no spicy trades. I usually love on the trade deadline when you see that player's name across the board and you're like, oh, that happened. Didn't see that this year at all. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, because nobody looks good this year. Let's be honest. Undefeated Chiefs don't look good. They don't look like an undefeated team.
They should have lost to Tampa Bay.
They should have lost to Tampa Bay. They should have lost a few games. They really don't. I'm sorry. That is not a team I look at and go,
smoke and mirrors.
Man,
They're winning in smoke and mirrors. They're 8-0 for I don't know how. I don't know how they're 8-0.
It's crazy, Detroit's the only team. If you line up all the teams right now in the NFL and say, hey, who do you want to play the least? The number one is Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit is frightening the way they're playing. They're like, hey, we're down one or two of our best players, so we're going to beat you harder than ever. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm good. Amon Ra's having a down year, and they look ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, no team. Like I said earlier, the Buccaneers look better than they are. The Chiefs look worse than they are. I don't know if the Commanders are for real yet.
The 49ers get Christian McCaffrey back this week.
Maybe.
No, it said it.
They already.
Yeah, well, they also said he was going to play week 1, and that didn't happen. So I don't trust it until the snap of the ball that he's on the field.
Well, didn't they get punished for saying that? And then
I think they're supposed to. I don't know if they ever did because they're the darlings of of the West Coast.
Tell me you hate the 49ers without really telling me you hate the 49ers.
If the Cowboys moved west, they'd be the same team. I mean, they're just, and they don't even look good. Everyone talking about how the NFC is going to be pretty much it's the Niners versus everybody. The Niners don't look good. The Niners' own division is a tie. Everyone in the division is tied. I think every team has 4 wins.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Unreal. Yeah, nobody looks great. There's no team that I'm looking out going I mean, the Baltimore, they've had their moments. Yeah, they won. They're looking good. They're not, they're not someone I want to sleep on. But they also, I mean, they did lose to the Browns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even the Deshaun Watson Browns. It's Jameis Winston Browns they lost to.
Yeah.
The Patriots, did they beat the Jets the other week? And I remember that correctly?
Yep.
Patriots, yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
The Jets are supposed to be good. I know Buffalo looks better, but
I bet money on that one.
I'm proud of you for that one.
Thank you.
Buffalo looks better than I think they should. I'll be honest, but it's a weird season.
Yeah.
I
agree. Yeah, it's
Mike,
weird.
do you have our Super Bowl predictions written down anywhere?
I haven't written down in my book. I was asking you the other day what they were, but I have to go back and look.
I think I predicted Detroit, didn't I?
I think you did.
I think I did.
I will have to go back to listen to the podcast that we did it into, but
right.
The only thing that gives me any hesitation now is that they're killing everyone so much now. It concerns me that like come January they're going to be tired.
Okay, so here, Mark, yours was Lions Ravens.
Okay.
Mine
I
was
like it still.
Eagles Texans. Miguel, I think you texted me yours. I got to go back and look.
Did I? I thought I told you something. Was I in? No.
Yeah, you were somewhere in some tropical world enjoying your life.
Yeah. So I have to go back and look through the message.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to send that to Miguel the other day. I saw someone post a thing about like some trip to some like island off the coast of Africa. That's like pretty much like going somewhere like to Southeast Asia or the Caribbean, but for like a tenth of the price. I was like, oh, Miguel would like that. Yeah, I forgot to send it.
I'm out.
Let's go.
Find that post. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Funny. Gentlemen, again, thank you. I know this is late. We will meet next week earlier because it's a Thursday night game.
All right.
Miguel?
Sounds good. You already know how we do, boys. EAGLES.
Eagles. Let's go.
Birds.
Go bird.
Hey,
go bird dog.
Hit that song that Mark was talking about. Hopefully it doesn't get taken down.
Energy flows. Big dogs in the house, let's make some noise. Party all night with the girls and boys. Feel the beat, let it move your feet. In this club we can't be beat. Big dogs, we run the show. Everywhere we go, the energy flows. Big dogs, we own the night. Dance until the morning light. Lights are flashing, music's loud. We're the kings, we're the crowd. Laugh and cheer, let it out. This is what life's all about. Big dogs, we run the show. Everywhere we go, the energy flows. Big dogs, we own the night. Dance until the morning light. Hands up high, touch the sky. Feel the magic, don't be shy. In this moment, we're alive. Big dogs, let's thrive. Big dogs, we run the show. Everywhere we go, the energy flows. Big dogs, we own the night. Dance until